All right, hello everybody. This is Andre from Juwan Fitness once again. I want to say to you happy Friday, and I hope that you had a wonderful week of staying on track with your fitness, nutrition, and workout goals, and you're really staying focused on achieving the best body that you want to become the best version of yourself. So today I'm going to talk about the video where it's going to be about fat loss and how to do a cutting plan effectively, because a lot of people have been asking me exactly how do you cut, because you talk about losing fat, and I would like to have a guideline of how to do it right to ensure that I see the fastest progress I can without reaching into my without going into my without my bad without interfering with my muscle and strength gains what I have built when I was moving vehicles. So we're going to start that right now. So number one is to make sure that you're eating a moderately high amount of protein. Now this does not mean having 1 gram per pound per body weight and all that stuff. You don't need to have 300 grams of protein in order to help with the fat loss process. All you need to do is be at 0.82 grams per pound of body weight. That's the maximum range I recommend when it comes to protein, when it comes to fat loss, because going any higher than that is not beneficial and it's just a waste of money if you ask me. So whether you get this through, your meats, ground beef, chicken, tuna, cod, or protein powder, milk, whatever it is, as long as you get that in, it's really not going to matter. So if you weigh 200 pounds, for example, that means you will have 164 grams of protein per day, and I try to aim to be in that range for myself. And it just makes it a lot better. And also, protein is really going to help you maintain your muscle mass when you're losing fat for a long period of time, as well as keep you full and satiated in between meals. Number two is to make sure that you're drinking black coffee, because this is going to blunt your appetite and make it a lot easier during the fasting period of your day. And make sure that you don't have too much coffee, because you can get the jitters if you drink 5, 6, or 7 cups of coffee, which I've done before in the past. We just lose the benefits, and it can also lead to a nasty crash, which is something you don't want to experience. And when it comes to black coffee, like which brand should I choose? Well, I'm going to say try to get something that's all natural without any pesticides in it, because that's bad for your health. So just do your research online to find out which brand is best for you. I like the Columbia type, the light roast, because the general rule of when it comes to coffee is that the lighter the roast is, the more caffeine that it contains. So just keep that in mind when you're shopping out for your black coffee. And if you don't like black coffee, you can always go for black tea, green tea, oolong tea, matcha tea, white tea to get your caffeine fix as well. Just keep in mind that it has less caffeine in general. And if you don't like coffee or tea at all, you can always do a 0-calorie or sugar-free Monster or Rockstar. Those work as well. So whatever your source of caffeine that you prefer, just stick with that. And the next tip, number 3, is going to be about you want to stay in a moderate deficit. You don't want to drop your calories too low, because if you do that, it's going to be a lot harder for you to maintain your strength and muscle gains over a long period of time, and you're going to lose mass as well as increase your risk of injury and overeating. Because I tried to, for my first fat loss journey, I tried to actually drop my calories drastically. So I was eating 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100 calories a single day. And at first, I dropped weight pretty quickly, but I just ended up binging in my diet, because no matter what I ate, I just felt hungry all the time, and this was even more difficult when I was eating 5 to 6 meals. I just did not feel freaking full at all, no matter how much I ate. So just stay at a moderate deficit of 500 to 1,000 calories below your maintenance, and that's going to allow you to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week without sacrificing your strength and your muscle gains that you have built over your lean bulky period. And the next thing I want to talk about is make sure that you stay hydrated, man. That is very important, to drink a lot of water, because even if you are doing black coffee right, you're losing the amount of weight that you want to lose. Water is very vital for your life. Our bodies have up to 78% of water, so if you're not drinking enough water, it's going to hamper your performance and make it harder for you when you're working out in the gym. Even if you are using a pre-workout or take caffeine beforehand, you're going to tell a difference. And trust me, I have, because when I first was working out, my first year or two, I didn't drink a lot of water, to be honest with you. I thought, water is disgusting, so I didn't drink. I just had like a lot of Gatorade, a lot of pre-workouts and all that stuff. And the pre-workout it improves your performance, but at the same time, I could have saw more progress if I drink water. So what's the good guideline? So I'm going to explain that right now. When it comes to water, is to have half your body weight ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, then 75 ounces of water would be best for you. Now, I recommend that you have an extra 24 to 32 ounces since you're working out and being active. And on top of that, if you're taking creatine, add another 16 ounces to that total, because creatine draws the water from your body into your muscle cells, so you want to have slightly more water when you're doing that stuff. And my final tip before I go that I want to talk about is make sure that you're doing a high carb diet. Don't do any of these low carb diets that say, oh, like cut carbs because they can help you lose weight faster and you have less calories. I mean, yes, that is true. If you drop carbs, you will decrease your calorie intake, and it can actually be beneficial for when you lose fat. But the problem is when it comes to doing a low carb diet is that it can mess with your testosterone levels as well as the leptin levels, making it harder for you to have energy when you're working out. You're just going to feel like you're dragging. And trust me, I tried low carb diets in the past and it just didn't work out for me. And I could only do it for a couple of weeks. I just felt drained, that tired. I didn't have that energy, that vigor, and that drive that I had before I did a low carb diet. So if you actually want to do that, just do the research and find out, what are the benefits and drawbacks if you want to do a low carb diet. But in my opinion, I would say keep your carbs pretty high because that's going to just help you, perform better overall. You're going to have more energy, and plus you get to enjoy satisfying meals. And my last tip before I get up out of here is, yes, when it comes to fat intake, keep that moderate, because if you do a low fat diet just like a low carb diet, what's going to happen is that it's going to drop your testosterone levels, and fat is also really going to help you stay full in between your meals, which is very important. So a moderate amount of fat is just going to just make food taste better, because low fat meals tend to be very bland. So that's all I have for you. If you have any more questions, then feel free to let me know in the comment section below. We got a discussion about that. And what are your thoughts on this video? Do you want me to do any more topics in the future about this? So I can just really help you out, because the more people that see my videos and my stuff, the more people I can help out and transform their lives. So that's all I have for you. Stay tuned and have a good night.